Okay, John, I figured the easiest thing to do would be to make a video and show you what's concerning me. So this is the cabinet that I was talking about, or I should say it's on all the cabinets, where we have this, 4.5, 5 inches of overhang that wasn't there on the face of the cabinets, from the prior design, and it doesn't really look pronounced here until you see the big picture. Right, and then once you see that, you can see that it looks like the cabinet was installed and then the doors were all hung off center, with this weird 4-inch lip coming out the other side. Now the reason for this was that the original design had an angled fluting piece that went right here on this. Hopefully you can see this here, so that we only had about this much on the face of the cabinet, and the cabinet still came out the side. Now, I brought this to Steve's attention because when I saw it, I was pretty upset about it. Steve tried to kind of calm me down a little bit, walk me through it. He helped me understand that really he didn't feel like there was any choice. One, because that was the way we ordered it, and two, because we would not have matched up on the floor, and we would not have matched up on the wall with where the previous line is, because this was the exterior of the cabinet. But candidly, this is something that, you guys have the experience. This is something we should have caught in the design phase. Somebody should have said something, hey, by the way, we're going to square all this off, and when we square this off, your doors are not going to be centered in your cabinets, and it's going to look funny. And it really does look funny. And the worst part is that because everything's not in center, it starts to, and you can see this here, you can start to see how the cabinets themselves are not level, which I understand no cabinet's going to be perfectly level, but you really start to see it when you start to add in all that extra space, right, which we didn't notice before. So as you can see here, that's it. I don't know if you can see that, but if you have a builder's eye, you can see that that's clearly not level. Now I understand that no wall and no cabinet's going to be perfectly straight and perfectly flush, but this was pretty bad, and I think it's something that should have been corrected. And especially as you look at the granite or the quartz countertop. As you can see here, there's about a little less than 2 inches of overhang between the quartz and the cabinet. And as that moves, we move that down. That becomes 2 inches. Further, 2.25, almost 2.5. And then it comes back out again, and by the time we get to the end of this, we're back to under 2 inches. And what that does is it serves to make the whole cabinet look like it's bowed. And it did not look like that before, but it definitely looks like that now. It looks very amateur, and candidly, it doesn't look very nice. And the problem gets worse as you move around the kitchen. Here, for example, we have almost 2.5 inches on this side, and as we walk down, we go back to 2.25 inches, so it's about a 1/4 inch of difference. But then as we move around this side, it goes back to less than 2, and on the end of this, we're almost at 4.5. So clearly, this piece of granite was not cut properly. If I kind of back up, you can see how bad that overhang is. None of the corners line up, right? So here's the corner of the cabinet, and here's the corner of the quartz, the countertop, and that really doesn't make a lot of sense. You can kind of see the poor angle here from this angle on the film, and it just gets worse. We have the same issue over here where this corner is not flush, and it's not flush. It's not a 90-degree angle with the wall or with the cabinet, and so it looks like the whole thing's been moved to the right. And I don't know. Maybe you guys think that's a small thing, but to me that's a big deal. I paid almost $40,000 between the appliances and the price for the remodel. And I did this all through Home Depot, and to me, it looks terrible, and I think it's my opinion that counts in this particular case. Also, I found out when your countertop guys came that they did not have any sanded caulk. And so I had to go out and buy some, and I tried 3 different versions. They were nice enough to put it down, but it just, we can't color match with the backsplash and the colors that we've got. It doesn't really matter which color we chose, it just looks terrible. And then, make matters worse, they were very nice enough to go and caulk that all up for me, but they also got that caulk all over the place in my tile and in my grout, and it just looks very amateur. It looks terrible. I mean, here it's really bad, and some of that's old grout, and then some of it's old grout covered by covered by this stuff, and it doesn't look very good. It looks pretty amateur. And then there's 2 other things that I'm a little disappointed about that I can probably live with, but I think it's something that I wish you guys had kind of listened to me on the first one anyway, about during the design phase. We talked about we really wanted to have a pull-out garbage, and this is the solution that we got. And so you have to open both doors and you pull the garbage can out, which I understand that's the product that you have and that's what you sell, but and we've stepped through this like 10 times, it's really not very convenient. And what I had asked about 3 different times and about 3 different people during the sales and design process was, why can't you just build me a big drawer? I'll provide the garbage cans, I'll put the garbage cans in it, I just want a big drawer. I was told that you guys can't really do that. Well, it doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, if you can make a drawer this size, right, you can just put a thicker bottom on it and make a drawer this size. I mean, the cabinet door, right, or the drawer, it's the same thing. It's the exact same piece, right? You're custom building it anyway, so you custom build it to the appropriate size. You put a nice 250-pound test, slide out in it, and I have a drawer, right? And then I can put my own garbage in it, and that's really what I wanted. And you guys kind of talked me out of that, and now I have this thing where I gotta open both of these to get the garbage cans out, and it's just not very convenient. I think the other thing that bothers me is it appears that this is the only piece of trim that you guys have available in this particular color match. And there's a lot of places where we needed trim, like this place here. It really just isn't the right piece of trim, right, to go underneath crown molding like this. It doesn't line up. It doesn't look professional. It just doesn't look right. And Steve was right to put it up there because it really did need a piece there. I mean, some of the wallpaper was damaged, and there was air gaps between the cabinet and the wall. So he was right to put it on, but it's just the wrong kind of trim. Looks fantastic down here, on the floor. It looks amazing. Just not so much in these corners like this. Now I want you to know that Steve did a fantastic job, and his crew was amazing. We talked through a lot of these issues, and really I felt like I was kind of stuck, and there wasn't a whole lot we could do about it. I was going to wait it out and see how things ended up, and candidly, with this, especially with this, I just couldn't let it stand, and I couldn't stomach it. So we need to do something about it, and I appreciate you guys if you guys come out and take a look, and we can talk through it. Thank you.